what's his name? Ray Landers is the guy who does all the finance. He said, when I rent a house out, he said, what I'll do is I'll walk them back to their car. And I look inside their car. And if their car's messy, he said, I'll rent them nothing. Because that's a direct proportion of what they'll do to my house. And what's happening around you is a direct proportion of what's happening within your life, I believe. John 16:13 says that the Spirit of truth will guide us in all truth. Pastor Tony this week, last Sunday we prayed around the place for finance and different things that are happening. And, they went down the back and they found there's a couple of trolleys under the back, the shopping trolleys. They had, I think, a Coles and a Woolworths trolley or something down there. That was given to my brother when we got these fridges and freezers out here. But they were given to him for a counsellor, a government counsellor gave him and said, you can have these. He didn't know the background of them. Checked with him, didn't know the background of them, if they were free or not. But there are ones that we do have here which actually have a metal plate welded on it with Logan City Hands of Compassion, LHC. They're okay. But the other ones we didn't know anything of. So I didn't even know they were there. We got rid of them, took them back there this week because we cannot allow anything like that around here. And so you may need to just look through things like that we need to say, okay, well, it's not... Some things, it fell off the back of the truck. Be blessed. Take it in your home and be blessed. Come on. It's not of God. I believe, if you do these things and then you stand there in prayer as Achan did and Joshua and said, hey, God bless us. I really believe that the devil has a right to say, you have no authority to get rid of me because he's given me permission in that area. It's a fact. A couple of experiences. Just quickly. My brother-in-law had a house, and the sister, they shifted to this new home they bought. I think it's important when you buy a home that you pray through it, a business. Even when you go to motels, pray through the room. You don't know what happened there the night before. Okay? Went through this home, and for some reason, weirdly, they were just arguing all the time and just out of the nature, just So they asked us to come over and we said, what's happening? Where does this normally happen? They said, right here in the kitchen area. So myself and another pastor we went around them, we prayed and everything. And this picture came in my mind and it was like this, I could draw it for you right now. And it was just like snarling thing, right in this corner, I could see it. And I said, God, what's that? And it's like, he's saying like it's a spirit of scream. It's a screaming spirit or something because it was just going like this, I'm not being weird. I'm just saying what I saw in the spirit, right? And I said, okay, so that's cool. Now we know. So I got in, I prayed and I broke that thing. And I said, you get out and da-da-da. And the thing left. And you know what? The dog that would not even come in the house anymore then would come in the house and wouldn't go out. Loved the place. And their fighting stopped and all sorts of stuff. Now, we don't know what was happening before. I'm not trying to be weird. But, we had a house down here at Ormiston. We took over from another person. Okay? Anyway, we took over from another person. And what happened was that my daughter was in the room upstairs. And through for about a week, was it, love? A week, 2 weeks with smell? There's a smell through the house. Hammer? Ammonia smell. It was like, how you have like ammonia smell and then it's in the walls like a dead rat or something. I'm sniffing right down the ground, the walls, and then I just about get it and it's gone. And then I'm sniffing them over here and it's like a real strong ammonia smell. And dummy. I'm going, what's that? A dead rat, whatever. Anyway, one night, Amanda, she was up in a room and it was about midnight. We were in the room next to her. And all I heard was that's it, nothing else. And it woke me up. And I went in there and she was crying her eyes out and she said something had her around the throat. She could not breathe and it was heavy on her chest and she heard footprints across the floor and she was just stuck in fear. It was horrible. Well then, the lights come on. Demonic smells, this happening. So I turned on every light in the place and went into warfare all night. And started breaking that stuff out of the place. And the place was totally peaceful and calm after it. So don't get spooky on me. But, these things are happening. Because you don't know what happens previous. God says that we must bring our stuff, lay it at the altar, and destroy the things that aren't of God. As Christians, we need to do that to stay and remain pure. So I'm going to ask you this morning, when you go back this week, you may need to discard some things. make some choices, make some decisions. In Acts chapter 19, verses 18 to 20, if you look it up, Acts 19, it says there that they brought out all their magic books, and it totaled in value of 50,000 silver coins, which is equivalent, they say, to $4 million today, and burnt the lot because they weren't going back. And I'm just saying today that we need to start fresh. There may be just something in your house that you may need to get rid of. There may be just a CD you need to get rid of. But don't get wild with it. There was a guy in the book here named Jim. He had a Rolex watch. Very expensive Rolex watch. Now, he got this Rolex watch given to him by a lady he was having an affair with, an adulterous relationship with. And then what he did is he repented and he came to the Lord and he thought, well, I've got to get rid of this watch. And he got it and he threw it into the ocean. Probably a $17,000 watch. Threw it into the ocean because he said, I have to cut back the ties of what that lady did. But please understand, it's only a watch. What you need to do is you need to pray over that sort of stuff, and then maybe you need to ask God, what can I do to bless? Sell the watch, give the money in, so that the money from the devil's work can be laid up for the righteous. Because it's only a watch. But if it's a book on the occult, or if it's a CD on swearing, it's stuff like that, well then you shouldn't sell it because the next person will be affected. Do you understand? A watch is a watch, but an occult book's an occult book. Not saying there is, but get what I'm saying? Be careful what you give away and what you sell and what needs to be destroyed. I think that's about all I've got to say to you this morning, is that we need to submit, we need to renounce, and we need to take action on the things of God if we're going to be continually growing into the deep things of the Spirit of God. Amen? Is that good enough? Just really go for it in God's name. Let's stand together and let's just pray together and thank God that this week we can just be obedient in this area.